Where's Pete gone? I got Jakey Pete with me today.
Jakey Pete.
Jakey Pete. Welcome back to Andertons TV, everybody. Hello. Pete and I are gonna play with the new Friedman IRJ, which is the third pedal in this format that they have done now released. IRX, I forget what the other one was called.
IRD, because Taylor said D. He never forgets the D.
And this,
and
of course,
so you say D rhymes with like and subscribe. You have to do it because we want to get to 1 million this year.
I'd love to get this
Please.
year.
Well, no, but we can. If people just, we've got 60% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So we can just get 20% of those.
If you don't like and subscribe, there'll never be a democracy again. Jakey Lee, mega guitar player, super famous, obviously probably best well known for his little stint with Ozzy Osbourne, but tons of stuff after that.
And then my interpretation, sorry, it was just an interpretation of the song Speed Bag, because I'm sorry, it was not right.
If you haven't seen the IRD or IRX videos, the concept here, everything you're hearing is Pete playing his guitar, got a pedal set up down on the floor that has a bit of reverb and delay through the effect. That thing too, the loop.
I'm very flexible.
Tube screamer in the front if we choose to use it. Might not, because there is actually sort of a tube screamer-esque boost circuit built into this. So you're hearing everything basically coming out of...
You're guys going well today.
Yeah. You're hearing this plugged into our interface, played, and we're listening to it through some little studio speakers.
Who reminds me of a presidential debate?
Yeah, exactly. The other one, though, the current one. Obviously, you're hearing this through whatever speakers you're listening to, but we are not using traditional guitar. You could, but we're not.
You could.
So this is 2 channels. Each channel has volume, treble, middle, bass, gain, foot switchable separate boost. Also on the side, we've got some controls that allow us to adjust volume and tone of those boost circuits. And of course over here, I've got the clever bit, which is loading up whichever IR I want to use and giving me some other EQ controls.
And that's the latest software. So that's the latest 4.0 software we use.
2.0.
Just say that. Yeah, no, 2.0 here.
Oh.
4.0 software there. So it's updated firmware with inside the pedal. So if you do have another one of these IRs, get the latest software, stick it in there, it all does it all automatically, and this is the same software for all pedals. Right.
I should probably also say that the point is once you've created your setup within here, it's all saved within here, and then you just take this out to play live or use wherever you want to use.
And what's the cool thing about this?
It's red.
The other cool thing?
It's got valves in it.
Exactly. Tubes.
Real tubes, absolutely. Yeah. So this is a hybrid product of real tubes and digital jiggery pokery. Let's listen to channel 1.
Jiggery pokery. Did you see Greg Cock yesterday by any chance?
I certainly did. Ooh, so that's good. Nice. So we'll start pretty flat here. We've got the OHBE 412 M6402 cabinet on, and all of the other EQ controls on here are set in their central positions, as you can see.
Okay.
Should we put a bit of reverb on?
That's no reverb, because it doesn't have reverb. So this is a golden girl.
Golden girl, absolutely. Weren't they all in their 30s when that was out?
They
were.
Crazy. And so were the guys from Cheers.
That was crazy.
And Eddie Murphy, the guy who just passed away, who was Taggart, he was only 36 in that film.
Mad. And I'm 73 now, look.
Yeah, that's the new age, isn't it? It's so Aussie. It's so Jakey Lee, that. There's a little bit of air on the top, right?
Is it cleaner than the...
I think it's not cleaner.
No.
I think the D is cleanest, and then it's the X, and then... Can I also just point out that I'm playing this rather beautiful custom shop Strat here for those guys who says that we don't do non-relic guitars. I mean, just check these two out.
Who ordered these? I thought we had a rule. It was only relics, just to upset 80% of the viewing audience.
Exactly. So you can actually get a Strat, and it's under $5.
No. Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often, does it, these days? Anyway, links below for those. Sorry, go back. So, okay, we go. Come on. don't think he's going to play a lot of clean stuff, do you?
Let's have a little play around. So the boost control on the left here will only work when I engage the boost switch. So we're just using these here. The 3-button brightness position over here is in the middle, and then we can either adjust the cabinet IRs from here or from the screen, and then the presence, thump, and low pass controls are only adjustable from the screen. Yeah. So let's have a little.
And there's 3 variants now of that, right? In the new
Yep.
ops,
So here's about as clean as we can go, which we've kind of been for a while anyway.
So
it's a little bit hairy.
On the neck pickup. Too much reverb? Perhaps
No such thing. Let's see. I mean, I'm kind of guessing that if you're into the Friedman kind of vibe, and I'm sure Jakey Lee's kind of similar. Clean is never really crystal clean, is it? Clean is always dynamic clean. So you pick soft, it's clean. Dig in, it's so. Let's see what we can get like that. That's a great sound, and that's probably, if you're into your kind of martially kind of tones, that's probably where you want to sit with your clean sound.
I like it.
We're going to dump the boost in over the top, so I've got some controls here for tone and volume on the side, as well as a boost controller, overall volume on the top here. I've set this, about 3/4 of the boost all the way in, so let's have a
It's got that scooped kind of, almost like there's a tube screamer already.
Well, it's tube screamer inspired. In fact, let's just compare it.
It's more scooped, isn't it? There's more.
They're not identical, but
there's more peak on the mid range there.
Can I just hear it with a Les Paul?
Yes. Let's see what it does on the. Something about that, isn't there?
I've got to say, again, I guess there's two kinds of people. There probably are only 2 people watching this video. I was going to say there's 2 schools of thought. One is going, I haven't made the move away from amps over to some sort of alternative thing first. So what are the pros and cons of doing that? And then there are other people who've made the move and they're going, so why would the Friedman one be better maybe than the one I've already got?
Yeah.
So I guess if we address that second one, you've got a bucket load of choice of products like this, from products like Kempers and Neurals now, where you can do all the capture stuff, to modeling stuff, and the Friedman is at the analog end of that. So the Friedman is basically just taking like a valve preamp that you would get in an amplifier, and then adding some amp emulation and speaker emulation to enable you to take a DI.
I would say if you have a clean amp, sorry to interrupt. If you have a clean amp, these are great because you can use them as a 4-cable method, and you can actually hook up them up like so. You got clean, and then you got
you turn the IRs off, and you just run into a normal thing. Where I think the type of guitar player this will appeal to, if you can't be bothered to faff around with, like, I've got 76 different amp models and I've got to tweak it, and somewhere in the menu are 53 parameters about sag and all that stuff. If that's not your bag, and you just go, do you know, I like the idea of not having to take an amp to a gig, but I basically just still want it to be an amp.
Yeah.
That's the niche that Friedman are going for with their sort of IR pedals.
Have they got an FRFR cap still?
Yes, they do.
So you could actually have that in the FRFR cap and then turn that off.
Absolutely. And then I kind of feel if you've already sort of made that leap, IR always feels to me, you're always searching for that, but does it really feel and react like a guitar amplifier in a way that some modelers don't?
Yeah.
So like, it sounds like one, but it doesn't necessarily feel like one. And I think this does a better job than most
because of the
feeling, of like feeling like a guitar amplifier.
I agree. But the tubes makes a huge difference in these products. Absolutely.
So that's the kind of concept. And so anyway,
could we get a clean tone? And then I'm just going to try to dump the overdrive on top it. Dump.
Here you go.
So that's the clean. Here comes the what is it?
Bonsai.
Bonsai. That sounds great. I like it.
All right, so channel 2, we'll go over here. I suspect, oh yes, you get a bit more gain. Again, if we go into the technical spec, there are 128 recoolable presets from here. You have to have MIDI to be able to do the recall. However, you can't save the knob positions. You can only save the things that are within the software. So you could have essentially 2 different channels. You could elect presets may or may not have the boost activated. They may have different IRs. They may have different settings on, you know, these presence, thump and low pass features. But where the knobs are set are always where they're set. So kind of like it's sort of 128 presets, but it's 128 flavors of basically the same 2
but what
settings,
more do you need?
No, I agree.
You need a clean channel and a driven channel and a boost, and that's, you know, in my opinion, that's really.
And again, I think that's, again, you'll know as you as your own guitar player. Do you have you got one of those things where you've got 57 different presets saved in because you want a different preset for every song in your wedding band or whatever, or are you basically happy with a clean and a drive channel?
Yeah,
in which case,
and then do you just
bosh.
use 2 different amps anyway?
Yeah.
For all those different presets.
Right, let's try Chanel 2.
Chanel
we've
number
also
2.
now got an additional gain switch here for presumably gain stages within the amp. So we'll see what those 2 sound like as well. So here's flat EQ, little bit of gain. I've said it on the previous 2 of these. In our setup in here with the Genelec speakers and this, I do think the Friedmans nail the excitement of playing a real guitar amplifier.
It feels so natural.
Yeah,
it really does.
We're fine margins, right? We're splitting hairs over that final bit, but in this setup, it's really good. What does this gain switch do here, Mr. Pete? Is that...
Take some top end off it and leave the lower. No noise gate as well.
That's tremendous. Right, let's have a little play. We'll get a sort of a medium crunch sound going, and we'll just see what these EQ things do. It's the same set of EQ controls regardless of which channel you're on, and comes with 3 of Friedman's own IRs loaded in. But of course, as you know, in the world of IR, if you've got a favourite and you've got 50 million other different ones, you can load them all in and use those if you want. Is this a good sort of... Fine, good crunchy tone.
Let's put a little bit of reverb on.
Let's just see. I've got 3 positions of a one-night presence control.
Okay, so it's
pretty subtle.
Pretty subtle, but it's there. If you go from number 1 to number 3, so this is number 1.
It sounds like the brightest is the middle position to me, but so I think it's almost like a present
that's what they do in the amps as well,
yeah,
isn't
so or maybe not.
That's definitely the brightest one,
yeah,
right?
so it's pretty. So yeah, left to right goes darker.
So you can definitely hear it if you go from the left and then. I mean, that is subtle, but...
Pretty subtle. Let's try the thumper.
What was this one?
Low pass. Low pass is the new feature that the old software version didn't have.
Right.
So, super subtle.
It's not. It's there. I think if you combine the 3, I think that's when you get some different.
I think this is about going. All 3 of these controls here are about going. What speakers am I hearing this back through, or headphones am I hearing it back through, and what minute EQ change do I just need to do to optimize the tone? It's nothing like, you know, turning a bass control up and down or whatever.
I'll tell you what this is. It's a great studio tool. I'm just sitting here thinking,
Agreed.
if you've got a clean amp going into an aux into your studio speakers and you got 3 of these, you got so much spectrum of tone.
Let's try the 3 different cabinets that it comes with.
This just sounds great.
This is a good amp sound.
It's just a great rock sound.
412 Celestion G12M loaded speaker captured by Kevin Rowe of Own Hammer. Anyway, so that's what this is, or that's what that was. Let's try the next one, which is, by the looks of things, a different 4x12.
It's a good sound,
It's a bit brighter. Let's go back to the first one again.
I like this. There's more top end and low end in that one. This one is sort of less subdued in the top end, right?
Quite similar, though.
Maybe not.
And then the last one is, again, another 412, but this one seemingly with EV speakers in it. They're all from the Own Hammer sort of catalogue of captures. So
can you imagine
anyway,
carrying a 4x12 with EVs in it? Oh, so that's where you can load your own IR.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just pressing buttons now and showing my Mac ignorance. Now I can't work out how to get rid of
cancel.
That. Exactly.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
what I knew. I knew that. They're not the.
They're not so different, are they?
No, I think I'm used to using stuff where you've got like maybe half a dozen really different speaker captures, and these all sound like within 2 or 3% of each other, much the same.
But that might be what Jake likes, so he might have set it up. So it is his signature product. You know what I mean?
Totally forgot about that. You're absolutely right.
Let's just try channel 2 just to see if there's any difference in the cabs. I'm just curious, you know.
Okay, so channel 2, again, we've got obviously a gainier sound, and let's go through those 3 cabs again.
Is it a different cab though? I think it was difficult. Oh, it sounds
Same
tremendous.
3 cabs, I agree. Here we go, second one.
What? Right, third cab.
Third cab, and finally...
Slightly, it's a small difference, isn't it? Really?
Very small difference. Well, look, there you go. I'm not sure. I think the hardest choice you've got here, if the IR format is your thing, you know, you're sort of thinking, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go ampless in my studio or live, whatever, and that's the pedal bit. I think it's quite a difficult one to go, which one would you have out of the IRD and the J and the X? Because they're obviously all in that sort of classic Friedman-y, gainier sort of ballpark, aren't they?
I think the first one, the one in the middle is probably the most, you could go that way or that way.
So you think that's the X, do you?
Yeah,
Because I thought that was based on the Brown Eye. I think that's pretty gainy, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, but it can also do cleans. It can do cleans. It can do cleans.
I enjoyed
like
this
the ball.
very much. And we had a power cut. That's never happened before. Right.
Yeah, love you loads.
Love you loads. See you in the
Links
next video. Links below, yes. About 500 quid, by the way.
Oh, that's
links
okay.
below.
Yeah.
Bye.